So, really warm welcome to an intro session to embodying the snake. So, some of you know me, some don't. So, my name is Eva Weaver. I live in Saltine near Brighton, at Phoenix Nest, is the name of my house. And really, my work is in different areas. On the one hand, I'm a writer and author and a writing coach. I also work in the area of sexuality as a sex coach and sexological body worker. And I work shamanically. And so my work's in that kind of triangle of embodiment, sexuality, and creativity. And in the past, I've worked as an art therapist in mental health. And I've also been a performance artist. And partly why I mention this is it's good for folks to know what the background is, but also I feel when it comes to snake medicine, I can really kind of see my path in that and how snakes really relevant, important in all these areas: sexuality, creativity, healing work. So yeah. So tell you a little bit about the lay of the land for tonight to orient you. So we have an hour. I'll talk a bit about what snake medicine is, my journey. I'm going to show you a slideshow as well and a little meditative introduction on the history of how snakes were revered all over the planet. Then there's a little practical exercise as well. It includes the movement and writing, and then there will be space for Q&A. And I will also tell you about my 8-week online course, Embodying the Snake, of course. So, and I checked in, and I think towards the end, I'm gonna bring my beautiful royal python, Sid. So stay on for that, if you like. Okay, so my journey with the snake. So I think snakes have been with me probably all of my life, if not lifetimes. Snake came in dreams to me. I was really fascinated as a child when I went to the zoo and saw the first boa, the sheer size of it, the movement, I was really mesmerized. And then some years ago, probably 15 years ago, a colleague of mine who has a black snake called Alchemy said, "Would you like to come and handle this snake?" And I was saying, "Oh, I'd love to." And she took it out, and the snake was wrapped around my arm, and I just started crying because it was such an exquisite sensation. And I remembered something that I couldn't put in words then, but there was a sweetness to that and a connection that, yeah, I had not expected. And then I want to briefly show you this. This is the statuette of a Minoan sculpture that was found in the palace of Knossos on Crete. It's 5,000 years old. And when I saw this first, I was a young woman, was probably 19, 20, and it really moved me so much on all levels. And I couldn't believe the expression, the bare breasts, the snakes. And it took me many, many years and a very serpentine journey to understand that what archaeologists called the snake goddess was probably actually a snake priestess, and maybe both, because on the one hand, the snake was revered as the goddess. But that these were women, possibly people of all genders, who worked with snakes in the temples of many different places, and that there actually is an unbroken lineage of these people. And this is where I have felt myself stepping into more and more, and particularly the past 2 years. And then 7 years ago, I felt ready to have snakes myself, and got 2 snakes from a snake sanctuary that woman called Snakey Sue runs. They're called Sid and Mist, and sadly Mist passed 2 years ago, but she's always with me in spirit. So really, over the years, being with the snakes and diving into learning about what I call snake medicine, it's really helped me to feel more embodied and in tune with my body. It's helped me to connect more with my sensual side and supported my sexual expression. And it's opened me more to my intuition, my inner listening. And I think all in all, to be more in touch with the mystery and the wonder of life. And then I think one big aspect has been to feel more and more comfortable with change. I'm still not super comfortable with change. I have a lot of change happen right now in my life, but being with snakes and learning about snake medicine, I've become more at peace with that, because snakes go through change all the time. Snakes have to shed, and so do we. So, but also to, not pushing, but to rest more, because snakes really invite presence and beingness. And it's also helped me that, to accept that sometimes we have to go through really deep rites of passage. So I'm already jumping in, but what is snake medicine? Sometimes, depending on the context of places I am, people think it's something like Cambo, so a plant medicine, and say, do we ingest the poison of the snake? So that's not how I understand the snake medicine, although, within homeopathy, for instance, snake venom's been used. But so for me, it's first of all, everything that we can learn from the actual snakes. So what we can learn from observing them, being with them, their way they move, the way they look, the way they mate, eat, rest, shed, and go through phases. So that alone is such a really, really rich field. And we'll explore a lot of that within the 8-week course. And then secondly, it is about the symbolism of what I call the great serpent, that has been present all through the globe over millennia and has been revered. So in the temples of Egypt, many African countries, China, India, the Americas, and Europe, there has been, in the very old days, worship and learning from these teachers. And still today, in India, for instance, there are temples for the cobras, for the snakes. And there were many traditions of priests and priestesses working with the snakes, particularly to bring healing. And one of the most beautiful examples I find is in the Greek temples that were called the Asclepions, which were really the first hospitals where people came to dream in the dark with the snakes. So those were the ingredients, and that was what was bringing the healing. I feel snake medicine is also about reclaiming ancient wisdom, living in more harmony and in tune with our cycles rather than constantly pushing, because snakes really live very strongly in cycles. So I want to show you some slides to, yeah, just give you a few visuals as well. So for me, snake medicine is a path in a way. And depending when our lives we come in or what we need at any given time, it can support our healing, our embodiment, creativity, sexuality, cyclical living. There's something at the moment where I feel snakes are really coming into the more collective consciousness as well. I know that years ago you could never get snake earrings. It was very, very difficult to find. Could hardly see someone with snake tattoos. And there's something that's really becoming much, much more visible. Sometimes people don't even know, why they say, oh, I really need this tattoo, I really need this. And I feel, because snakes are coming into our field for us to learn and relearn things, particularly around more sustainable living, but also, yeah, this shedding of old patterns, of old ways of living, and to support us in this reclamation of our sensuality and sexuality. This is a picture of my late snake's nest. So the aspect most people connect with and know from snakes is this shedding, and with that, the transformation and regeneration. I've just come back from Queer Spirit Festival. We had an incredible shedding ceremony with 49 people in the temple space. And yeah, the power of that was really incredible. Snakes shed because they grow, and also for hygiene. And I think this is so interesting if we think of our lives. And if we try and hold on to our old skins, our old patterns, when we're actually feeling something needs to move on, that's very painful and we can't grow. And equally, yeah. So snakes are really beautiful teacher there. And when a shed is good, it's complete. Here you see the eyelids even. And snakes really teach us about aliveness and how we could live more cyclically and not expect of ourselves to move in this linear way and every day show up in the same way, but how we wax and wane, how our life moves with the moon, with the hormones, with our life changes. And then an important part I feel is about empowerment, is about power. Snakes are powerful. And for me, when it comes in all these areas, creativity, but particularly in the area of sexuality as well, we need to be able to not only say yes, but also have really strong boundaries in order to create a really safe space for us, right? And snakes are such wonderful teachers here. So it's not many years that I've been learning more about poisonous snakes. I've been mainly working with constrictors, like my own snake Sid. But more recently, I've learned more about snakes like the cobra, and just the way they set boundaries, like the rattlesnake, through sound, through embodiment, through, you see it here, opening the hood. And again, there's so much we can learn from them about how can we set good boundaries, how can we embody our power. This is also a statuette from the Minoan temples of Crete. This is from, I believe, Nigeria. And then, as I mentioned, sensuality and sexuality. There's different aspects. There's the physicality, the embodiment that snake brings, the agility, the flexibility, and then you might have heard of Kundalini, as in an energy that lies coiled up at the bottom of our spine, an energy, and that can be activated through breath, through imagination, and it exists not just as Kundalini, it's within the Indian culture, but many cultures know about this energy rising in us, the arousal rising, and these serpentine ways. And so, yeah, I feel a snake is a beautiful teacher there, both in terms of sensuality as well as sexuality. For me, they're quite separate yet connected. And so within the 8 weeks, we'll tap into that theme as well. And then I mentioned the aspect of healing. And again, this is one that a lot of people connect with. If we think also about the symbolism, do you see at the pharmacy, or the symbol for medicine is still the staff of Asclepius. So the snake that's curled around a staff, or here there is the vessel, and around which a snake is curled. So this is Hygeia and Asclepius, the Greek mythology. And then if we look all over the globe, snake has been connected with creation myth from so many cultures. And I feel there's something about this life force energy that snake carries, and that can teach us about cycles of creation and how we can tap into our own creativity and everything we need for a creative life, because that can include how we pace ourselves, how we have rest and digest, all of those things. The course will also talk about the serpentine in nature and in our own bodies, and how we can tap into that and connect with that. And then, yes, snake is very much connected with the mystery, and of course all the deep mysteries of life and death and rebirth, rites of passage. It's the alchemical symbol, Odysseus. We're also going to have a session on snake as a shamanic ally, as a spirit ally that we connect with to find our very own personal snake ally. We tap into some symbolism. I mean, this is so rich. This is one of my favorite symbols, is the Ouroboros, the snake that bites its tail. For me, this is about completion and evolution. And then a very exciting aspect for me is to really dive in and explore how a snake is actually opening and transcending dualities and polarities, including gender. So if we think of Freud, who saw the snake as purely phallic, and if we see an image like to the left, we could say, oh yeah, you know, we can see that. But the moment snake opens the mouth, it looks like a vulva. And then there's the whole energetic potential of snake, which is, yeah, for me very much, yeah, beyond any gendering. And there's many stories I can tell as well around that. So and now I'm gonna stop sharing for a moment, but I mentioned that serpent has been present throughout history. And I'd like to share a little. It's another slideshow, but that really shows you more of that. So my invitation here is, it's quite meditative, and it's about 7 minutes. So if you like, just to settle in and let those images be with you. And after that, we're going to go into just a little free writing from that, if you like. Everything's an offer, of course. So let me see if we can share that. Yeah. And you might or might not hear sound. Sometimes it comes through, sometimes not. So enjoy. Sachidananda Parabrahma Purushottama Paramatma Shri Bhagavati Samvita Shri Bhagavati Namaha. Sachidananda Parabrahma Purushottama Paramatma Shri Bhagavati Samvita Shri Bhagavati Namaha. Om
Sachidananda Parabrahma Purushottama Paramatma Shri Bhagavati Samhita Shri Bhagavati Namaha Om Sachidananda Parabrahma Purushottama Paramatma Shri Bhagavati Samhita Shri Bhagavati Namaha. Sachidananda Parabrahma Purushottama Paramatma Shri Bhagavati Samhita Shri Bhagavati Namaha. Om Sachidananda Parabrahma Purushottama Paramatma Shri Bhagavati Samhita Shri Bhagavati Namaha. Om Sachidananda Parabrahma Purushottama Paramatma Shri Bhagavati Samhita Shri Bhagavati Namaha. Om Sachidananda Parabrahma Purushottama Paramatma Shri Bhagavati Samhita Shri Bhagavate Namaha Om Sachidananda Parabrahma Purushottama Paramatma Shri Bhagavati Samhita Shri Bhagavati Namaha Shri Bhagavati Samhita Shri.
Come back. So I wanted to offer you, if you feel like it, just to take a few minutes to put your pen on a page and let it flow. And maybe something, there was a particular aspect that touched you, an image. And if you just want to be with the energy, feel free to be with that. Just about 3 minutes. And then slowly bring that to close, knowing that you can always come back to that, pick up the thread again. And my next piece of offering is I'm going to play one song, just under 3 minutes. It's by Marie Boine, the beautiful Sami musician. And my invitation is, from what you've written now and what's been with you with the snakes, if you like to take that into some movement. And when I say movement, it can be anything. You can stay seated where you are and just let that move through you. You can get up, you can have the camera on or off. But just one song and one moving with the snakes. Here we go.
Smirrar i doi, kjære han låst i hat. Nästan i melkirta, pievä chaielahin. Tonai pasha taavas, mun huvidan mättäs. Ton halidi taavas, mun jadin mättäs. Kaskia päivädaki, jäävetsän hieja ide. Täpkäi voi vuodasan, hätäcän uodiha. Ton kirtasa tjeukan, mun säunjadin nädän. Tuupiap maada mätti, mun leitsi tantovin. Käre hando suojat, muutsuki saatostit. Näste ole min tuopistan, itjandu miedustan. Ton vahtara hiia, säunja musolodan. Tuai mu kuotasat, iena mu vuhtoda.
So I wanted to come back and share a little bit more about the course before I bring in Sid. And Zoom changes all the buttons all the time. I think we're getting there. Here we go. I just wanted to share a bit the ways you could work with me if you're interested in snake medicine. So I run 1 days here at Phoenix Nest. They're kind of tailor-made retreats. If there's a particular ceremony, a particular deep place in your life that you want to mark or have a ceremony. I'm also offering a mentorship program that's mainly online, and when I'm around can be in person. And particularly I wanted to share with you the 8-week online course. It's the second time I'm running it. It's really been my most favorite course I've ever run. And that's probably a mix of, I feel so passionate about snake medicine, but it's also a beautiful collaboration. So I have guest speakers, beautiful colleague called Juliana Goldstone. She's a sexological body worker as well. And yeah, we'll talk about sensuality, sexuality, snakes. Claire will speak and bring a beautiful work around snake as shamanic ally. And my dear friend Bayari, with whom I run snake medicine retreats, she will bring in the theme of healing. And so just a really brief overview. We're going to have a week on the power of shedding, 1 week on cyclical living, of how we can, really live more in tune with our bodies. 1 week on, like I said, snake as shamanic ally, intuition, the mystery. Then a week on how we can tap into our natural sexual energy, connecting with eros, and sensuality, how a snake can teach us there. We work on the theme of power and setting healthy boundaries, on creativity, on healing, and the snake as oracular ally, so the cosmic snake. For me, the snake is so much between the worlds. So on the one hand, intensely of this world, off the ground, of the earth, belly to the ground, teaching us about our bodies, embodiment, and at the same time, they're also very cosmic. So, yeah. We're going to start on the 25th of September, which is coming around quite fast. There's a beautiful group coming together. What you get is 8 live sessions of 2 hours with me and my guests. You get a beautiful ebook. I think it's about 100 pages now. And all sessions are recorded. You get an entry to a platform. So, and you can obviously download that and keep that forever. Yeah, the course is 333 for the 8 sessions and for everything. And if you wanted to come on board, as you're attending today, I'm happy to offer it for 269. And it runs till end of November. So if it's difficult to pay in one go, I'm very happy to offer payment plan. Just chat with me. So shall I have a look to bring Sid? I'm gonna stop sharing, and then we can move into a Q&A. So here's my beloved Sid. It's interesting. I sat at the vivarium earlier and checked in, and he was all curled up. And I said, "Would you like to come tonight?" I do that with a pendulum. And I got a yes. And now when I looked, he was all spread out and ready to come. So he's a royal python. We don't know exactly how old, but I had him for 7 years, and he probably was 5 years old then already. So yeah, so I want to open the floor. Any questions, comments, conversation, all welcome.
This has been lovely. Thank you very much, and it's very good to meet Sid. My internet connection's playing silly balls, so I think I'm going to drop off. But
Is that you, Rachel, speaking?
Yes, yeah, Rachel.
Cool. What's your surname? Just so I yeah, it's all right.
Let's see if this comes back.
Oh, yeah. Thank you. Yeah. Yes. Sorry to hear with the technology, and it's lovely to have you. And I'm going to send out a replay as well. And yeah, any questions, feel free.
Okay. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Yeah, I'd like to just say thank you very much as well. That was really lovely. Yeah, I'm not sure if I have any questions yet, but if I do, I'll send them an email.
Yes, please. And yeah, maybe see you in the course.
Yeah.
Lovely to
Cool.
see you here.
Yeah, lovely to see you too. Take it easy. Bye.
Bye. So thank you very much for coming. And it says hi. And hope to see you embodying the snake.